Dear Ishwar, if the DVD is already finished, how does the free will come in?
The DVD itself provides for experience of free will. I once met a kind of a yogi, a psychic in India, and I had just come out of an interview for the Navy. I was going to join the Indian Navy, and I had just come out of the interview, and I met that man with a turban, and he said, "Do you have a piece of paper?" And I said, "Yes." I took out from my bag a little piece of paper. He looked at me and began to write something on it. Then he folded the paper and he gave it back in my hand. After this, he said, "Now hold this. Have you some more paper?" I said, "Yes." So he said, "Now on your paper, you write something." Because I saw he was writing something. He said, "Now write any number between 1 and 10. And I said, "This is an old joke. We've done this as kids, asking people, write between 1 and 10. Everybody wrote 5. It's a natural reaction to write 5. And he's expecting me to write 5. I'll call his bluff off. So I wrote 3. Then he says, "Write the name of a flower." And I said, he's thinking I will write the most common name, which is Rose. And Rose is the common. And I said, everybody expects that when you say flower, Rose. I am going to think of a flower this guy in this town may never have heard of. So there's a flower we call chameli. So I wrote chameli, Chameli, in capital. Then he says, "Write your date of birth." I wrote 1926. He said, "Oh, that's the year of birth. I asked you for the date." So I wrote my date after that, November 26. He says, "Now open the paper I gave you." I opened the paper he wrote earlier, and I saw it said 3 Chameli 1926 followed by the date, which we don't normally write that way. He wrote exactly as I wrote. And I was quite stumped, and I said, how could he write when I hadn't even decided what to write? Where was my free will working that I was deciding? While I was still thinking like that, he said, "Shall I tell you something more?" I said, "Please go ahead." He said, "When I asked you to write a number between 1 and 10, you said, he's expecting me to write 5, but I'm going to call his bluff off. And you wrote 3. He told my free will. He told me what I was doing with my free will. I couldn't believe he can know that because it had not taken place yet. He had written before I thought like that. And then he said, when you were writing the name of a flower, he said, "Oh, he's expecting me to write Rose. And therefore I'll write a name he hasn't even heard of." And you wrote Chameli. And when I asked you to write the date of birth, you gave the year of birth first. He knew exactly what I had thought, but he knew it 5 minutes earlier. What does it demonstrate? I thought I was using my free will. I thought, but the DVD contained this free will. The destiny contained how I will decide things. The destiny contained the sequence of thoughts which I will consider as free will. So free will looks free, acts free, makes us believe it's free. It actually is pre-written in the very form in which we use it.